Hey there, ready to hear about problem number 3? I'm on day 3 of my 30-day challenge to come up with problems and solutions for business ideas each day. And today's problem and solution revolves around something I did this vacation this fall, this summer. Was I went on a cruise with my family for the first time, and I'll tell you what, it was a lot of fun. What was not fun was planning it, trying to figure everything out beforehand. You see, when I go on a normal trip, go for a weekend to another country to explore, to visit, we like to do that sometimes here in Europe, and it's cool. I go on and I look up all the things to do in that area that we go to, and we just plan it out over a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. Problem is, with cruises, you go to like many different ports, like 5, 6, 7 different areas, different cities, and each one has their own things to do. A lot of them you have to go out to, like a lot of the ports are not really touristy areas, but there are touristy cities outside of the area, like an hour away, so you can go out there. Anyway, there's a lot to plan out, a lot to figure out, what you want to do at each place. Add on top of that that cruises usually only leave you in a port for a certain number of hours each day. Sometimes it can be as little as like 4 or 5 hours, or sometimes maybe 8 or 9, but that's everything you want to do, you have to do in that time frame and try to get back before the boat leaves, or else you miss your boat. So it can be a little stressful to figure out and make sure you do everything the right way. There are paid excursions available, but those are pretty limiting. You just got to do what they tell you to do, and they're expensive. So we didn't want to do those. We wanted to do our own thing, especially since we had a little girl that wasn't going to allow us to do things like those at paid excursions. It was going to be too much for her. She wouldn't behave. So we, while I was planning out what we were going to do, trying to figure it out, look up things at each port that we're going to go to, I was like, man, it'd be nice if we had a service that just did that for us automatically. And that's today's idea. Why not create a website that details each port and all of the information you need to know for going there on a cruise? Okay, so a cruise website for detailing information about the ports. You can list all the cruise ports. You can list the most popular things to do in each city that you visit, the popular nearby cities, other destinations, how long it takes to get there, by what means of transportation. Find out the prices for taxis, but also the prices for public transportation, buses and trains and stuff, and how long it takes, and figure out how to get there from the port, where the train station is, where the bus station is, all that stuff, and how long you'd want to spend in those areas or doing those things, and then maybe list out some itineraries based on different amounts of time. Say I only want to spend 4 hours there. This is what we recommend you do in those 4 hours. Say I want to spend 8 hours there, then you can do this, things like that. And if all that information is laid out for the customer, then that is just so convenient. I would have paid for that myself, to be honest. So try that. Another thing you could do is a service solution where you can plan all that out. So you could use all that info from your website, but you could also offer a component where the traveler can talk to an actual agent representative that walks through their situation. Do they have kids? Do they, are they older? Do they want to do this? Do they want to do things more action-based or more touristy based? And then just gives them an idea, gives them an itinerary, tells them this is how much it'll cost to get from here to here by this form of transportation. This is how much the tickets cost. Do you want me to get them for you? And just plans it all out for them. Okay, so that would be a more expensive solution. You obviously have to charge more for that, but a lot of people will pay for that convenience. So that's another option. Another option is just, if you don't want to be able to big business like that, you could do just a simple blog. A lot of people do this. Just a blog. You know, you go on a cruise, you go to all these ports, just blog about each of those ports, tell them about all the things you learned, about the things you did, the things that they should keep in mind, you know, take into account, you know, how much things cost and everything. And if you do that, you know, people have had a lot of success with blogging like that. They get millions of views, and then they can put affiliate links in and ads and do pretty well for as a single person business. So that's another solution. Okay, so there's a lot you can do with this. There are, like I said, opportunities for adding affiliate links to cruises, to the destinations, to the tickets and things like that. There are opportunities for inserting ads on a website. You can have travel agent fees, right, if you do the travel agent service. And you could even have like a paid membership account on the website where a user signs up and pays in order to not just, you know, they can access the information for free perhaps, but in order to create their perfect itinerary and save it and print it out and do whatever, they need to have a paid account. And then that paid account could have like a little tool that just helps them set up their itinerary quick and easy. So there's a lot of things you could do with that, and I think it could have a good amount of money. There are some hurdles you need to be aware of. For example, prices change on tickets and transport fees and things, so somehow you're going to need to keep all that stuff updated. And if you're trying to do that for hundreds of different cities, that can be a lot unless you get outsourced, get other people to help you with that. It can also be difficult to find that information. While I was looking for my own cruise, I was struggling to find a lot of up-to-date and valid information about all that stuff, and it just kind of got to the point where I just kind of gave up. I was like, this is too much. We're just gonna see what happens when we get there, and I did not like that. I like having things planned out ahead of time so I don't have to worry about them. So if you can get around those problems, I think you've got a really good idea here, a really good possibility here. You're not going to be targeting probably too many wealthy people. I imagine the wealthy people are probably just going to be going for the paid excursions that the cruise line offers, and that's it. But you might, some of those wealthy people probably want to do their own thing. They don't want to have to follow a guide all day, you know, and things like that. And so there's the possibility of that, but most likely you're probably not going to be hitting the poor people either. Poor people don't go on many cruises, so it'll probably be more the middle class people that go on those cruises and want to try to save money by not going on the paid excursions, or they just want to do their own thing and they want to plan everything out themselves. So so you will find people that obviously if they're paying for a cruise, they can pay for a service like this, and so that's good. That's a good sign. You probably, is it future proof? Well, probably. It's cruise ports change, so you're gonna have to keep all that stuff up to date. But cruises are probably here to stay, even though a lot of people are trying to push away from them. Like a lot of cities are protesting against cruise ships and stuff. But they're probably here to stay. There's a lot of demand for them. So I think this is a pretty solid opportunity for the right person that's interested in doing it. Me, it just feels like too much for me as far as, you know, I'm, like I said, I'm more of a programming guy and stuff like that. So all this information gathering and stuff like that isn't really my thing, but who knows? Maybe I will look into it if I go on more cruises and just I get so fed up by this. But anyway, let me know what you think. Talk to me in the comments. Tell me if you have any other ideas that come up from this. And I'll see you tomorrow in the next idea. Bye.